Today on Land Beat, we're out chasing quail and pheasants, but we're going to take a pause to discuss an important feature on the landscape. Woody escape cover. What is it? Woody escape cover is a habitat feature that could be plums. In this case, it's sand plums. It could be sagebrush. It could be American plum, Chickasaw plum. It could be sumac. It could be briar patches. We're talking about a woody structure, specifically shrubs and brambles and briars that are going to provide cover and some forage benefit for quail and also bedding for deer. Could be some nesting for turkeys. That's not ideal, but it can still offer it if it's limited on landscape. But we're talking about these pockets of woody structure that wildlife utilize. And on today's quail hunt, we're finding a majority of our quail in these plum thickets, specifically sand plums. So you can see these little hills behind me. This whole landscape's just a mosaic of slight terrain features, and when you find these little humps, those are sand deposits from the Cimarron River, and they established sand plums on top of them. And that is a dynamite spot finding quail today. And one of the big questions you would say if you were a new hunter following along, you'd say, wow, we're finding a lot of quail in the shrubs. Why don't we plant more shrubs? And it's a valid question. But the biggest concern would be, okay, they're using it today, but what about June? What about April? What about these other times of the year when their predominant food source is insects, and these shrubs or woody pockets aren't attracting nearly as many insects as forbs and other flowering plants out on the landscape would be attracting. So diversity, 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 having this mosaic. Oh yeah, getting after them while we're shooting a video. Trying to create this mosaic where we have woody escape cover next to some open loafing bare ground with forbs and seeds from those forbs for winter forage, next to a milo field with some areas that are going to be brood rearing during the summer months, nesting during the summer months. And having that mosaic is crucial in producing more wildlife, so therefore we get to enjoy it on days like today. So ways that you can diversify, use and prescribe fire is a great technique, but we're in western Oklahoma. A lot of people are scared of fire, rightfully so, so we can use things like cattle grazing. We can use just brush hogging and herbicide application to try to fight back some of the shrubs to where it's not just a vast sea of sand plums, but it's got some pockets of forbs and grasses in between to help fill those summer months with more productive areas and acres on the farm rather than just having vast landscapes of woody escape cover. But all this can be said in a short thing saying diversify your management and you will also diversify your habitat. So the great question, cover versus food, which one has more importance? And I've always said you can't have one without the other if you want to maximize your habitat and your animal populations. You can't house them without feeding them, and you can't feed them without hiding them. And so you need to have a landscape that offers both. And if you're talking about quail and turkeys and other game birds, having little features of cover and food, cover and food, cover and food, you can help maximize your game population where you have this go anywhere, find anything you want mentality for your wildlife.